How's it going, everyone? My name is Derek Afasi. I'm the owner of Afasi Financial Group and RetireSharp.com. Today's topic I want to discuss with you guys in full detail joint and survivor annuities and fully explain the pros and cons of each. Now, an individual is typically looking towards a joint and survivor payout, whether that's through a pension option where they might be given like an annuity pension option, or more on the private side where you could leverage existing retirement assets, roll them over into specifically designed annuity contracts that will provide lifetime income for both you and your spouse. Meaning that when income is going to you guys, when one spouse passes away, the money will still remain until the second spouse passes away. So it's just some really good ways on how somebody could leverage their age and leverage their longevity, basically their mortality rate, the chance of them and their spouse passing away, to their benefit. One of the first things that I want to discuss is pension income. As many times individuals have something known as a joint survivor option, a joint income on their pension side that they could maximize out their income goal and their death benefit goal. And there's a specific strategy that person could use if they're utilizing a pension income, where they might be able to, it might be more favorable for them to take the single life income and then purchase something known as a death benefit policy, a permanent death benefit life insurance policy, to make sure that the second spouse is covered if that spouse that has the single income basically passes away prematurely. And what I mean by that is, let's say if someone's given a pension option, they have a single option or they have a joint option. And let's say the single option gives them $50,000 per year of guaranteed annual income, and the joint option says, okay, it's going to cover both them and their spouse, but that's going to be for $35,000 of joint income. So when the one person passes away, the spouse could then, receive the $35,000. Well, dependent upon the insurability of that individual that's getting the offering, they might be able to say, okay, I'm going to actually take the single life only option and then purchase a life insurance policy for, let's say, $10,000. And maybe that life insurance policy is going to purchase another $600,000 of tax-free income of a tax-free death benefit to the joint recipient. So what would happen over there is, if it costs $10,000 to purchase that life insurance policy, but they're getting $50,000, obviously they're going to be receiving $40,000 as a couple while these two are living. Right after, so that you're netting a $5,000 extra profit there. And then whenever that person passes away, well, now you have the remaining spouse that has a lump sum of $600,000 that they could utilize those monies in a tax-free, and basically it's money because it's life insurance. It will go to them 100% tax-free, and now they could leverage that into their own personally designed pension plan through the form of like type of annuity contract. So that's the death benefit goals that I'm talking about. So there's ways on how you could leverage your actual pension plan when you're looking for joint and survivor annuity payouts. But it really works on a case by case basis. If that person's not insurable, if he has some sort of ailments, he or she has some sort of ailments, then that's not going to work. It's really going to blow up in your face. It's not a way to do that. But in many circumstances, you could actually leverage your chips properly to make sure that you're netting out that plus $5,000. Now, in that scenario, let's say they're purchasing the life insurance policy. This person's getting $40,000, and then all of a sudden the spouse passes away before them. Well, then they'll just cancel the life insurance policy, and then they would have that increase of back up to $50,000. So you kind of play in two different avenues. So that's the death benefit goal. Now the income goal, this is where I like to have a lot of fun with it, and we get into the conversation of cash flows, and we try to avoid the negatives, avoid the problems with these sorts of income goals. So one of the things that very popular annuities right now that we actually like to specialize in are hybrid annuities, and this has been gaining more and more ground after 2008, after they were first established. And what happens is an individual is able to leverage their retirement accounts, their basically their retirement savings, whether that's in qualified retirement plans such as 401k or an IRA, or they have this money in cash from the sale of a home, the sale of a business. Well, that could be set up in a non-qualified annuity. And what happens is, let's say if somebody has, let's say $100,000 is an easy example, and you have a couple, let's say you have, a male age 61 and a female age 60, and they want to use this $100,000, depending upon where these monies are coming from, that's how you have to establish that sort of annuity contract. So if it's coming from qualified funds, it would be a rollover or transfer into a qualified IRA annuity contract with a specific lifetime income rider. If it's non-qualified monies, it would just be a non-qualified annuity contract with a lifetime income rider. But essentially what happens is, let's say that you have this couple, they have $100,000 and they want to retire by the time that the youngest spouse is age 65. Well, this individual could say, okay, well, I'm just going to throw it on a single life only option, play that same game with that death benefit goal, which I wouldn't recommend. When you go and you guys could have it in both of your names on more on the private side where you have assets and you're leveraging those assets to receive retirement incomes, you could set up on a joint income rider. So what happens is this $100,000, it would be a simple concept of just saying, okay, I have $100,000. Which carrier, which contract is in my particular area is going to give us the highest joint life income option at age 65? So the problem that happens with these is individuals would go sit down in a seminar and they would say, okay, well, this advisor was pitching this great annuity, company XYZ annuity. It's, has this income rider, all these different benefits. At the end of the day, annuity contracts, you have about 1,000 or plus different offerings per state. So the fact that if you're sitting at a seminar and that person is pitching one annuity, 99% of the time, it's not going to be the absolute best annuity for your specific situation. And that's something I try to hit home with any single time that somebody watches my educational videos, whether they listen to my radio show, is that's so important to understand. Retirement is a big game of leverage. If let's say you're sitting at a seminar and out of this $100,000, you had the company that, company XYZ, we're going to call them, and they were going to produce you guys $7,000 of income, of lifetime income for that original $100,000 deposit. Well, this tells us this is a 7% cash flow. You're giving $100,000 after a 5-year deferral. They're going to produce you $7,000 for the rest of both of your lives. Well, if you have company ABC, that is just as good as a company, just as high rated as a company, but would provide you an 11% cash flow, $11,000 off of that same 100 grand. Why would you go with company XYZ? And these are the fluff. These are the smoke and mirrors. You have, like premium bonuses, and you have income roll-up rates, all these different terms that just try to confuse the heck out of somebody, when in actuality, what is the actual cash flow percentage? What is the dollar amount? If you're placing a dollar in with the company, what is the best one that you can come back with? And with the joint lifetime income side, this is, you have from the top option to the bottom option is few and far. It is ridiculous, the amount of first place versus, sixth place option. Something as high as, a 7% cash flow versus an 11% cash flow is very, very common, especially when you're looking at joint life income. See, the way that joint life income works with income riders and lifetime income is it's going to go based upon the youngest of the two spouses, and then how many years of a deferral. So it prevents the person, it prevents the 70-year-old male that has a trophy wife that's 28 years old from getting set up in a joint life income option, is because it's going to go by the youngest of the two, to then basically establish what that exact cash flow percentage is going to be. So if you have, let's say, a couple, male age 65, female age 58, and you guys want to wait 2 years to trigger income, well, it's not going to have the calculation based upon the 65, the age 65. It's actually going to be off of the youngest of the two, because they're saying we're covering two people's lives. We're going to go off of the youngest of the two. So that's how the joint income option is established. And basically, what we do is we have something known as the Retire Sharp planning system that allows us to take a situation, go through the 1,200 plus different results that come back, and then say, okay, this is first place, second place, third place. This is going to be the best. These are the pros, the cons, the pros, the cons, the pros, the cons. This is what we recommend. And it's all about customization. At the end of the day, retirement planning, it used to be simple. You were able to leverage fixed accounts, fixed interest rate accounts. Well, interest rates have hit all-time lows. So now what are you going to do? Go into the variable side, the speculative side, speculation, and that's when you fall victim to mutual fund related fees, advisor fees, downward market loss potential, siphoning money from those accounts, things that make individuals outlive their monies. is there's a statistic out there currently that 80 to 90% of seniors that are retiring are either at or below the poverty level. How exactly can that be when you have the United States as one of the richest countries in the world? And it's because individuals are utilizing an accumulation goal for a preservation and distribution need. Right when you hit your 50s, you should be gearing up for retirement. You shouldn't be trying to, put that pedal to the metal, try to go further into risk, further into, growth potential. What I've seen with retirement disasters leads me towards the recommendations that preserve your accounts, leverage your accounts properly so you're using the smallest amount of dollars and only as much as necessary to accomplish this joint goal, this joint and survivor annuity goal. So don't fall victim to just, the agent up the road or the carrier up the road. Make sure that you're being educated on what the best options are, and that's one of the things that we try to help individuals out on a national basis. So at any point in time you found value in the, feel free to give us a call. 800-566-1002. We offer 24/7 customer service. You give us a call mornings, nights, weekends, holidays. Someone will be there to take your call. We are A+ rated on the Better Business Bureau. It's because we believe in education first. You want to make sure you're properly educated, whether that's we have to send you free literature pieces. We have a whole slew of reports. We just came out with a little over 10 reports. So based upon your specific situation, we could send you over some generic reports, and then we also utilize personalized content as well, whether that's through video sources, whether that's through personalized, specifically designed reports for your exact situation. It's all about getting that education, seeing exactly what the options are, getting non-biased feedback. We're an independent agency, so I don't care which carrier is going to come back in first, second, and third place, as long as it's correct for your situation. If anything, my mindset is, or what I try to instill in the advisors that work for my company is, the insurance company is out there to screw people. That's basically it. They're out there to leverage the chips in their best to their abilities. So when you have specific offerings that are ideal for the individual that's 55 that wants to retire at age 65, or the individual that's 65 that wants to retire in the next 30 days, or the person that's currently retired, how exactly can that person use the smallest amount of dollars, leverage the absolute optimal contract to receive the most amount of benefits? And that's what the game is. It's a big game of leverage, and that's what we try to show you guys, and we do it through education, and we do it to try to help you guys out best way possible. I want to thank you very much for watching this video. It means a lot to me to constantly see you guys subscribe to my channel, and it really motivates me to put more and more content out there. I want to thank you very much, and at any point in time, if you did not subscribe yet, please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Retire Sharp. Visit our website, retiresharp.com, and simply call our 1-800 number. Even if you want to have a second opinion, it's never going to hurt to at least get some unbiased information. So thank you so much, guys, and I will hopefully talk to you soon.